Hello engineering students, it is Mr. Wilsey, and we're going to walk through Module 4. What I'd like you to do first is to take a look around your home for 3 different objects you think would be interesting or challenging or fun to model in Tinkercad. As an example, I'm looking around. Here's a bar stool. I think this bar stool would be pretty easy to model in Tinkercad. It's got a lot of simple shapes, circular flat top, cylindrical rungs connecting the legs. Even though the legs are at an angle, I think I could probably pull that off. I'm looking at my toaster right over there. I'm not going to bring it over here because it's going to drop crumbs all over the place. But my toaster would probably be pretty hard to model because it's got a lot of buttons and indentations and things like that. My acoustic guitar looks like it might be kind of fun to model. It has a symmetric shape, which makes it a little easier, but it does have a weird curvy shape to it. And I'm not quite sure how I'd pull that off yet. So do that. Find 3 objects, classify them as easy, medium, or hard, or maybe impossible, although nothing's impossible, and then briefly explain your classification right here. Then pick one of those 3 objects and take a picture of it using your phone or laptop, and then paste the image right here. Optionally, you can include a picture of your pet if they happen to be wandering around at the time. Then tell me what makes you think that object is going to be challenging. Like what aspect is going to be the most challenging aspect to accurately model in Tinkercad? Looking at my guitar here, I think one difficult part to model is going to be this dark exterior. It has the same shape, of course, as the body, but I'm not quite sure how I would pull that off yet. I think maybe I could create the body and then copy paste that, change the color of it, make it shorter and wider, and then overlay that on top of the body to mimic the appearance of that dark exterior. So that's sort of a game plan. I want you to answer that question in the same exact way down here. How would you model the most challenging part of it? Just come up with a game plan as best you can. Here are some tools, optional tools that you can use to help guide you. I really like this link right here. This is a list of shortcuts for Tinkercad, so make sure to scroll through this to see if any of these tools might be helpful for you. And then finally, your mastery check. Now this might just be for a formative grade. You've already selected one object. Now create a 3D model of it in Tinkercad. Make sure to follow this checklist, which I'll talk about in a sec. Take a screenshot of that model from Tinkercad and then paste it right here, and then copy paste a link to that model that you can share with your teacher so that they can open it up. Okay, here's my example here. I can pull up the model of the guitar that I made, right? Looks like that guitar I just showed you. Now to create a link, go to Send To, scroll down a little bit to Invite People, then Generate New Link, copy that link, and then right click and link, and then paste the link right there. Okay? Now let's talk about how you would get your grade. So first off, 1 point for just pasting an image of the object that you created. Make sure to crop the screenshot. Make sure to include the link to the model in Tinkercad. Make sure that you've chosen an object that is sufficiently complex that allows you to demonstrate your use of all these tools. For example, a Pringles can is probably too easy. Well, veggie chips can is probably too easy because it's just one shape, right? So try to pick something that is a little bit more challenging to model. Make sure that your model is actually recognizable, okay? There needs to be a close similarity between your model and the picture that you took. Then, make sure that all important aspects of the object are modeled. For example, in my guitar, I'm pretty sure it's important that the guitar is hollow inside, so I modeled that, right? You can see that if you zoom in on the sound hole there, you can see that it's hollow inside, right? That's a pretty important aspect to model. With a toaster, it's kind of important that you have slots for the bread to go into, so make sure that that is included in your model. And then finally, make sure that your model has a realistic color scheme. that it most closely resembles reality. The way to do that, when you create these different shapes and group them together, they tend to collapse into one color. But if you click on it and then make sure to select multicolor, that will maintain the color of each shape that it had when you selected it. And that's it. Hope that you have a great rest of the day.